And welcome back, everybody, to the conclusion of the 2019 Mid-America Open presented by Discraft, the world leader in disc sports. This is the back nine of round 3. I'm Brian Earhart, joined again by Nate Perkins. This has been a real treat to watch.
It absolutely has, and thank you to everyone for tuning in. GK Pro just hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's just a bunch of dudes from Oklahoma who love disc golf, and they are working for next to nothing to bring you guys this footage. So thank you so much for subscribing, liking, and commenting on all these disc golf videos.
Yeah, and if you're just watching this now and you haven't yet subscribed to them, please do. We need as many production companies as possible getting into this sport and giving us this awesome coverage. Moving into hole number 10, one of the most scenic holes in the course. Double fairway again. We have left gap, right gap. We have aggressive plays. We have safe plays off the tee. And then we have multiple routes to get to this basket on this par 5.
Yeah, we've got eagle opportunity here as well. Back-to-back par 5 eagle opportunities.
Yeah, really cool. And we're going to see this hole played quite a few different ways, especially with our card. It's been a real treat to watch these guys. Joel Freeman, Emerson Keith, Zack Johnson, and Gavin Rathbun. And Emerson has been on fire still.
Yeah, he's in control. He's got 5 strokes with 9 holes to go, and he hasn't bogeyed yet, so I don't see him making any mistakes, really.
And we'll see, this back nine is very challenging, and we have so many talented players here that are ready to chase him down. So let's see where Emerson goes with this.
This is his orange Defender. He's been flexing this one for days.
It's a nice, safe play, too. It's a great way if you're looking to get a birdie, put it in the middle of the fairway and kind of work your way down there from there.
I could watch this guy throw forehands all day as well.
Yeah, Zach, another guy with one of the longest sidearms in disc golf, and unfortunately clips that tree on the left side.
Yeah, Zach has thrown some of the most impressive shots that I've ever seen in person on a forehand.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, and
that's what I was talking about. There's definitely this line, and that...
Well, look at the camera work, dude. He found the disc
quickly.
Yeah, really quick. It's like we're watching the Golf Channel.
I know.
He's showing the ball in the air.
He did fade out a little bit to the left, and he might have some sort of stretch out, but we will see. And contrary to what we would have expected from Gavin, he is playing a very solid straight shot. That is huge.
Wow, he's going to have that inside gap, actually. Yep. It looks like Emerson's lining up the roller here. We saw him try this yesterday from the same spot, too, actually. This looks a little better if it can get past those. Oh, my goodness.
Definitely does.
My goodness.
That's the correction he needed to make from yesterday. And he's right up there with a pretty... They are still putting on the hole. Emerson, very rude.
And this looks like a forehand roller. It is.
This is some country boy disc golf right here. And Zach is known for throwing some huge forehand rollers, huge tomahawks. And fun fact, he's told me he's never been injured throwing that many sidearms. He's never even really felt pain. So we're all very jealous of you, Zach.
He goes pretty hard, too.
He throws real hard, real aggressive.
And he plays a lot of disc golf.
Tons. He's one of the road warriors that no one really knows about. Please check out Zach's PDGA page. The dude plays 40 to 50 tournaments a year. Maybe taking a little bit of time off recently, but...
Well, speaking of a lot of tournaments, Emerson played 70 tournaments in 1 year.
Yeah, fun fact. Very fun fact.
He's the all-time leader.
Yeah.
Yeah, he set the record.
Yeah, 70 tournaments in 1 year is absolutely outrageous. Joel gets caught up a little bit short. Might have some sort of circle 1 or circle 2 putt.
I just love the little swing that Zach has. Sometimes I like to believe that I'm trying to do that myself, but I like the way that he swings the disc right next to his body before he throws that forehand.
And that's probably just a nice mental anchor for him. It's routine.
A mental anchor. I dig that term.
Something that kind of centers you and brings you back, and it's comfortable.
Similar to how Emerson looks at his feet right before he throws his forehand drives.
Exactly. And there was Joel trying to throw that whale in. Right under the basket there. And a decent run from Gavin.
Zach had a little obstructed hyzer putt.
But a respectable par regardless.
Great birdie from Gavin after a bomb drive.
And as we were talking, about Emerson playing, 70 tournaments in 1 year, you have to wonder how in the world is he doing that? He actually, in Texas, they do a lot of, I believe it's Flex Start C tiers on Fridays. So he'll do weekends where he plays 3 tournaments in one weekend.
Absolutely.
And it's not even that many weeks in the year. But
yeah, right. He is a road warrior, and I mean he won probably 20 of those C tiers and probably another 20 B tiers in that same season, including his first A tier win.
Yeah,
down in Texas.
Outrageous competitive spirit. And moving into hole number 11, this one has presented some challenges to these players. 703 feet, almost dead straight, but really there's 2 different routes to get to the middle of the fairway to attack this basket. You can shoot kind of a low laser beam straight with the backhand. There is a left gap that a lot of sidearm players are taking, and Emerson is going to opt for the backhand here.
Yeah, he finds... spoke too soon. Looked like it was past that tree already, but he got a good reaction. He's in the middle of the fairway.
Gavin going a hyzer flip at that destroyer.
Man, such a late flip.
He generates so many revs on the disc when he throws. He really gets the disc to the hit point really, really well. And when he connects on one, it's crazy how long it seems to stay straight.
How old is Gavin?
I'm embarrassed to say that I don't know. I believe he's in his early 20s.
I feel like he's like 21 or something.
Yeah, similar age to my younger brother who plays with him a little bit more than I do. Joel with a hyzer flip.
Wow, that got some late turn on it as well.
I think that was the same disc he threw on the par 5, hole 9. And he was trying to get that to flex out to the right.
Yeah, that's that destroyer. Is he lining up a roller? He is.
And that stood up a little bit too quick.
Whoa, just misses that tree. Yeah, he's going to have a little wall of trees to deal with to access that green. And with that OB right, that's not a great place to be. This looks like a swirly T-bird from Zack.
And there's some Velcro grass right there. He's still about 100 feet from the basket. And Joel, with his favorite type of shot.
I believe this is a luster T-bird. Maybe TL.
Yeah, Joel. Come on, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
And that's the fun thing about Joel. He flicks pretty much every disc in his bag, which is really, really unique. Gavin going with a stable Firebird here. Puts himself to about 25, 30 feet. And like you said, Emerson's a little bit pinched behind this kind of bunker of trees.
Is he going pure hyzer?
I think he's going to play a flare.
Oh, he's flipping that one up, actually. That was a... Whoa. I believe that was an Explorer that got a pretty big skip there at the end.
Gavin running the birdie there. He's going to be about 5 feet for the tap-in par. And Emerson picking up a nice birdie as well. Or not birdie, par.
Yeah, another solid par save, though. And that confirmed that was a luster T-bird from Joel. And a beautiful shot to get this close to the pin from that angle that he had.
Yeah, to throw a flex shot with a medium stability disc like that definitely takes a lot of speed control because you're not necessarily yanking it over on that anhyzer. You have to gently drift it left and then let the disc work back on its own to the right. Zach's going to pick up a par. But yeah, I do have a lot of respect for players that flick a large majority of the discs in their bag. It takes a lot of spin control to be able to do that. Hole number 12, very, as you can see, low ceiling laser beam off the tee. And Nate, you had mentioned there's a tiny berm right in front of the basket that the players have to jump over.
Yeah, it's low ceiling, but you need to keep it high enough to get over that if you don't want the 50-footer.
And it's hard to even see it off the tee because you're really just seeing the mound that the basket is on. But it's cause for throwing a little bit faster disc than you normally would.
Here's that same T-bird. That's early right. Yeah, but a good reaction. Yeah, I'm in the fairway. Emerson's going Opto X Explorer. This is his signature disc. Yeah, solid release. He's going to be at the top of that, just outside of circle 1, maybe a 45-footer. Bringing it way back.
Flicking I believe, Champion Boss. And I think he was trying to throw a low flex that maybe skipped forward, but pushed himself a little bit too far to the right. Zach tried to throw the same line.
I just love all the different ways that people attempt to throw straight.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. We saw Nicola Castro throw a wickedly overstable disc on a backhand flex.
And this is how Joel likes to throw straight. He likes to like really flex stuff like that.
Yeah, he really does.
That was that same Gator 3. And maybe like the 5th or 6th roller that we've seen from Zach during this final round.
Yeah, he's a huge fan of throwing those kind of trick roller shots.
And this is to save par.
Ouch.
He's going to be giving up another stroke, potentially 2 right here if Emerson can make this from circle 2.
Shouldn't be too far behind the basket.
Yeah, those are pretty conservative bid there. And
Nice
that is
putt.
a nice putt.
Waving to the fans. And a good comebacker for the bogey from Joel. Never something you want to have happen on especially a dead straight par 3 basket staring you down.
Yeah, another solid tester putt to, once again, save par. Definitely taking his time on those.
Oh, definitely. You could tell he's very zoned in and not necessarily rattled, but you know that he probably knows he hasn't bogeyed yet either.
Oh, he knows.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah, that kid's a savage. He definitely knows where he's at.
And after a kind of a tough spread from the players, no birdies there, we're going to move into hole number 13. One of the more interesting par 4s in the course, and we've seen even some of the best drives in the hole still not convert to birdies. We have this really, really strong defining tree that's been leaning over, creates a really challenging approach shot for the players.
Yeah, it certainly does. You really need to get here or past that laid down tree. Because of how much OB there is on the left right here, it really makes this upshot tricky. I mean, that OB is only 10 feet to the left and 15 to 20 feet behind the pin.
So we're going to see Emerson. He looks like he's throwing, is that an Explorer in his hand?
I believe so.
So he's going 7 speed. That's a gorgeous left to right tracking shot. And as much as it's not as far as you were mentioning, he now has an option to go over or under the tree branch, but still, that limb is right where you want to throw the disc. We saw him try this yesterday and was pinched a little bit too far to the right.
This looks great, though. Oh, and he makes the Mando.
He's crushed it. And it's not an actual Mando, but for real, it's very challenging to get underneath that tree on the drive.
How epic would that be?
That'd be insanely difficult. I would not play that hole. Anyway, Zack trying the same line, and looks like he's crushed this one
looks
too.
Identical. Wow. I mean, nearly mirror image rollers right there. Beautiful shots from Gavin and Zack. I'm guessing Joel's going air shot here. This is his flippiest destroyer.
No, that's so bad.
And flippy it is. It's definitely tracking too far to the right, and that might be out of bounds.
It's close. Can't quite tell based on his mark. Emerson is going for the low forehand approach. This is that glidey defender. Looks like he got a pretty good skip right there.
That was almost like he was skipping a rock across a creek. That was super low to the ground. And it's scary, too, because this ground actually has some patches of almost sand-like material on the ground. So the skip is not always as consistent as you'd like.
And there's some next-level commitment from Zack. Laying out on his stomach after that forehand.
Yanked it a little bit too far to the left. He should have a circle 2 look, and Joel is just trying to get up and down here.
Yeah, and really anything right here is pretty sketch because it leaves you with a death putt.
Yeah, and Joel puts himself to a pretty comfortable position.
Yeah, he just lays that one up with the OB being so close and being up 6.
Yeah, there's no reason for him to run that, and not in a million years would he ever go for that. Gavin might be going for this, though. Oh,
Just inch or two low.
so he was out of
Yep.
bounds off the tee. Is going to get up and down from that position for the bogey.
Yeah, and he's going to be losing a stroke to the leader, and Emerson has a comfortable 7-stroke lead.
And he's playing these holes pretty conservatively. It looks like he knows where he's at. He's not trying to bite off too much. Hole 14, though, is definitely a hole that can present some issues for some players. There is OB behind the basket. You're going to see some forehands coming out here, either the middle flex forehand route, or if you want to play a wide, higher hyzer forehand. A couple different ways to attack this green. But we did see some bogeys on this previously.
It's going to be his stiletto baby flex line. Another low shot and no skip on that
There's
one.
that Velcro grass
Yeah.
right before the basket.
It's patchy, you know. Sometimes
very patchy.
you could get a good skip or you could catch the grass like that.
Kind of gets shut down there, and he'll have a pretty simple up and down for the par.
Yeah, this is that metal flake destroyer. Just check out how overstable this one really is. He's going to be going up the middle.
Oh my gosh, that thing does not want to fly.
Oh my goodness.
And I think that went out of bounds, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was fast shot.
And he went just a few feet farther than where Emerson's went, and he got the flare that Emerson was kind of looking for.
And this is interesting. Joel's actually going with a much slower distance than anyone else on the card. This is that Gator 3. Oh, and he's going real skinny.
Whoa. And I think that, did that kick him out of bounds?
No, it looked like it was heading out of bounds, and then it got another reaction off the tree to
Playing
kick
a little
him
pinball.
back into the fairway. Pretty fortunate.
Yeah,
Sorry, Brian, but I hate to say it, but wow. Wow. It's a 100-footer right there. But I was just about to say that the battle per second is kind of heating up.
Yeah, and Joel just made it a little bit tougher with that scarab going in the basket from about 100 feet. That was an amazing putt from Joel. And there's almost seems like that's the first stroke gained on Emerson in quite some time. Beautiful putt from Zack, too.
Okay, so looks like Zack went past the OB, actually.
So he went deep the basket rather than right of the basket.
Beautiful birdie putt.
Whoa. And that was the first missed putt we've seen in the round, and let alone a 10-footer.
Yeah, super uncharacteristic, and actually that's his first bogey of the tournament, Brian. I'm shocked right now.
From 10 feet.
Yeah, he laid that up. He didn't even run that initial putt.
Wow. It's almost like there's something that bowlers talk about. Like when you get enough strikes in a row, sometimes you wake up and you realize where you're at, and then the pressure starts to build. So he might have potentially had a moment of clarity like that, and
just like that, Joel got 2 on that, so he's within 5. It's not completely out of reach with how tight these final 4 holes are.
Absolutely, and hole 15 is a par 4 that is not a gimme whatsoever. You have to execute a very challenging tee shot. We saw Nicola Castro throw one of the best rollers I've ever seen on this hole. Go back and check out the round 1 coverage if you want to see that. But players are just trying to get up to a position to attack this uphill green.
Big flex forehand from Zack. Just a little too much turn on that destroyer.
And Joel's going with the high hyzer off to the right side. Doesn't push you as far forward, but does give you the opportunity to get a birdie.
I think that's that Scorpius again.
Oh, wow.
Joel sure does turn away from the line pretty early, doesn't he?
He does, and he's super lanky too, so I think it's his way of utilizing his length. He gets a lot of power behind the disc. And that was a sweet camera angle on that forehand from Gavin. Unfortunately, he catches some of that patchy grass.
Maybe we'll see another over-the-top attempt.
Potentially, yeah. And if there's any player that's going to do it on this card, it's him. And Emerson hopefully getting back on the horse after that rough bogey.
You know, that could potentially take a little bit of stress off. I know that he loses his stick, and it sounds crazy, but it might take a little pressure off to go bogey free through the whole tournament.
Oh, definitely. And he actually smashed that forehand. He has a pretty open look at the basket, it looks like.
No.
Forehand roller headed straight for the staircase.
So Joel is going to be pitching up, taking a par.
That's a little early left. I don't know what kind of angles you're left with from down there.
He might have to stretch out and throw one of his flippier discs on a forehand.
Zack is going Firebird right here. He's going to start this one out on a pretty sharp Anheuser. Almost hits it clean.
And that's the one tree you want to miss in that fairway.
Oh, and look at
So
that
close.
roll.
That was violent.
This looks like it's premium position right there. Oh, and he throws just a clean hyzer all the way to circle 1. But look how far Emerson's forehand went.
That's huge. That
mean,
was
he's
probably an angry forehand after that missed putt.
I mean, he's only 50 or 60 feet behind Nico's round 1 roller.
Yep. Yeah. With an air shot, and he is right by the basket for a birdie look.
Yeah, and with Joel out of position, just like that, he's going to tack on another one.
Yeah. And that definitely feels good.
So Joel actually looks like he doesn't have an angle, and he's going just up this wall of brush.
And I'm not sure how far he is right now. And just like that, we
Gives
have
them both back, dude.
Yeah, that's like I had mentioned. This hole is not a gimme birdie, and clearly not even a gimme par if you're out of position off the tee. Gavin playing a little bit more textbook here. Snags a great birdie. And that feels good to get back. And I know Emerson knows that he has decent-sized lead, but just to take a bogey and lose 2 strokes in one hole, it's nice to get those back.
Yeah, he's back to 7 strokes. The final 3 holes of this Mid-America Open A Tier event. He's feeling pretty good.
Oh, yeah. And, going into this next hole, it's not too many kind of stroke swings are being had on this hole. Really, there's one angle, one gap you have to hit, pretty generous.
Yeah, we've seen the flex forehand. Probably the number 1 option on that right gap.
Yeah, it really matches the ground, the slope of the fairway really well. And it's a lot more forgiving than having to throw a backhand turnover at this basket.
Yeah, that was a Firebird from Gavin, and that even hyzered out pretty early, and it's a pin high inside circle 1.
Emerson's going to go a little bit straighter disc here. Maybe left gap. Nope, he's going to go with the slow turnover to flat.
Beautiful. It's going to hit the pole. Oh, almost does.
That's how it's chalked up to be played. Ooh, and Zach with a rainbow assortment of discs. He's chosen the blue one.
He sure did have a rainbow. I think that's a Firebird. It's like a little glow sexy bird. Oh, and a very nice reaction to stay within 15 feet.
Oh, yeah.
And here's that same gator. He never found it yesterday at Northwoods, so.
He was thrilled to have it back.
Wait, he did find it?
He got it back.
Okay.
Got it back, and now he's back to throwing shots like that again.
That's
beautiful
good.
Slow turn anhyzers that flatten.
He was pretty worried about it. We all kind of get to that point with a disc.
Oh, yeah.
At one time or another, you've had it in your bag for many years.
And after Gavin misses a putt, unfortunately for birdie, Emerson gets back on the birdie train and snags yet another one.
Yeah, that was a confident putt. Really fast putt right on the pole.
There's a little Nate Sexton putt there, a little pop out with the leg. We have Joel picking up a birdie as well.
Yeah, Zach and Joel are definitely battling for the second place position. Joel's got 1 stroke over Zach moving into hole 17.
And this is an eagleable hole. We have seen so many different shots get down to this basket. And I think if the right shot just happens to miss all these trees down there, I think we could see a definite putt for a 2.
That would be epic.
We've seen, dead straight hyzer flips getting down there. We've seen, pop-up sidearms get down there. We've seen rollers get down there. It's whatever you're comfortable hitting, this strange uphill, slightly right, slightly straight gap, and kind of scrapping, almost Idlewild-esque, scrapping to the basket.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Anytime you're throwing uphill and then have to go back downhill in this same flight, it gets pretty tricky.
And I like this play from Emerson. A little bit straighter, slower driver, push it left and let it drift back, and he's going to have a nice 100 to 200-foot shot to the basket.
We're going to see yet another forehand roller from Zach. Imagine he's going to throw this one pretty hard. Oh, yeah. Full speed ahead on that one. Oh, and it looked like it got slowed down. It was on the perfect angle. And it's still getting all the way down there, dude.
And you can tell with the line that he threw, he's gotten it a couple times just playing for fun, being the local here.
He probably has, man. I would love to see that in person.
And this is the line that I figured Joel was throwing.
That is cooking. Wow.
And a great reaction off the tree. That's a fantastic shot from Joel. He's 150 feet to the basket. Everyone's throwing all these fancy shots, and Gavin's throwing one line dead straight and just happens to clip something in the middle of the fairway. That's the weird thing about this hole. That's why, some of these scrappy rollers we're seeing, not too shabby of an option.
Wow.
He juiced that thing.
That was a beautiful shot. I mean, it just flexed out a little too much at the end.
Caught a little bit of air underneath it for sure.
Oh.
That was uncharacteristic. He's going to have to jump putt this one. Give it a look.
Wow, chain height right there.
Not bad. Joel for eagle. You know he wants this one.
Yeah, that looked more
A little bit
like
more of a layup.
Yeah, underneath the bucket. Zach a little more level with the pin. I can't tell. Yeah, he also is just going to be laying this one up.
As is Gavin and Joel for a birdie 3. And at this point, Joel might know that, Emerson has a huge, sizable lead on him, and he might just be trying to play conservative and protect that second place spot. You never know what the next card behind him is doing.
Yeah, Emerson just didn't really leave these guys a lot of room. I mean, he shot the course record yesterday at 8 down, and he's actually 7 down today through 17 holes. So,
yeah.
I mean, he pretty much showed up to win this one today.
And on this one, hole 18, as much as he does have a sizable lead, anything can happen on this. We've seen 9s, 10s, 11s. We've seen huge numbers on this hole before. And really their first job is to just put this one in play and see how they can maneuver the fairway from there.
Yeah, this is such an awesome finishing hole. Definitely plenty of room for stroke swings.
It's such a scenic, almost a picture-perfect finishing hole for this course. Sums up the course in a nutshell. And a lot of awesome camaraderie. Great dudes on this card.
Yeah, Zach with a good-looking forehand up the gap.
Ooh.
All right.
Little fancy
whale sack.
footwork.
Yeah. Whale sacks do make great hacky sacks, though.
They absolutely do. Joel resetting after having to switch sports from hacky sack to disc golf.
Same luster T-bird. Oh, this has a great bite to it.
It's almost got to sit down. Yeah, he almost threw it too well, and he goes out of bounds. Wow.
Finds the creek. Battle for second is definitely heating up now.
And Emerson just wants to put this in play. Going with that, I believe it's going to be a defender.
Yeah, he's been throwing this thing great these past 2
And
rounds
that's got to
on
flex.
film.
And he's dropped out of bounds.
Being a par 5, there's still opportunity to get up and down for par, even if you do go out of bounds on your first shot.
Absolutely. It's definitely a decision. Depending on your lie, do you get aggressive off that second shot?
All right, getting a look at the gallery here in Missouri. Thank you guys for showing up and watching this final round. Oh, beautiful placement shot here.
That's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, he's going to give him... Oh, man, there's just so many trees.
So many trees and so many flags throughout this fairway.
I thought he had the window, but he might be a little pinched right there.
Zach's going with another safe sidearm play into the high side. And even though he did hit something, it's still not a bad play. He still has a look at the basket.
Joel looking to line something up pretty big. He's going Anheuser with that Scorpius.
No.
Oh, and that's sharp. Oh no, he's found the OB again, and he went out pretty early, didn't he?
Yeah, he was pretty straight on from where Gavin was at. Gavin just smoked a sidearm. That's huge.
Congratulations to Gavin for making this lead card final round and showing up and playing some good golf these past 2 days.
Oh, yeah, and I think he's actually going to be on tour for the rest of the season from what I remember, so it's going to be great to see more of him out there.
Awesome. And that's actually a Discmania CD2 from Joel. Saw him throw it a couple times. This is a stiletto. This is to get up and down for par, correct?
I believe so. Super tight gap that he had to hit. Crazy that he split it and cleared the creek.
Oh, yes, dude. Inside 20 feet. He could have definitely played this whole tournament bogey-free, Brian.
Yeah. You know, a 10-foot putt was the only separator between
That's
that.
crazy
That's
to
outrageous
think about,
on this
man.
course.
With this much OB and with just the shapes of these fairways, that's really crazy.
I think that was Gavin. Is that Gavin's third shot?
Yeah, we'll find out pretty soon.
Great way to finish from Joel. Finishing the bogey, double OB, but
I think that putt actually mattered. I think that one was to stay tied for second. Zach's going to be taking a par there. So if Joel misses that, Zach takes solo second and Joel takes third. So
that put a little bit of money in his pocket right there.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Gavin taps in for a par, which is very respectable. And here's Emerson Keith. And as long as he does an 8-putt, he is probably going to take this down.
All right, beautiful putt to seal the deal. Congratulations to the young gun from Texas, Emerson Keith. Zack Johnson coming up, showing him some love. I believe this is his second A-tier victory.
After all those tournaments that he's played, and he's been lead card on so many big stages.
Yeah, he definitely has what it takes to play at the elite level.
Oh, hands down, he's top talent in the game, and he just put on an absolute putting clinic for us. And just great to watch these players play Harmony Bends. And make sure, again, that you subscribe to GK Pro. Thank you so much for giving us this awesome coverage. Nate, any closing words?
Emerson won by 7.
That is hard to do nowadays.
Yes, it is. What a huge win for the kid. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to GK Pro.
We will catch you next time.